Hello guys, Josh here. Today I'm going to share with you some technical discussion of my 2025 IAPLC contest tank, a river somewhere. As I've told you before, the photo that I submitted to IAPLC is my fourth shot. I took the photo session 4 times. So you might be wondering what happened to the previous 3 times. So now I'm going to show you. So as you see here, this is the version that I submitted to IAPLC. This is the 4th shot. And what happened to the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd shot? So this is the 1st shot. Yeah, this is an unedited photo. When I first saw this photo on my computer, immediately I saw this area. This few roots seems to be very weird to me. It's not looking natural. So I think this is one of the reasons that I feel that this is maybe not a good photo. And secondly, if you see this area, the sand is hardly noticeable. The Rotala Goyas at the back is a little bit too tall, or maybe my shooting angle is maybe too low. It covers most of the sand, and actually the small rocks at the backs are also not really visible. Yeah, so this is the 2 points. And the third point that made me feel that this photo is not good enough, I feel that the background is a little bit too bluish. You know, I added some blue color paper at the back to create that kind of blue tint, but I feel that in this photo I could have overdo a little bit, so it looks too bluish. And I think this is the three main reasons that make me feel that maybe this photo is not good enough. So I decided to shoot again. And then during my 2nd shot, I screw up the lighting setting. I don't even have the photo of my 2nd shot in my computer now because I deleted all the photos because I think the lighting was really bad. And as a result, the overall photo turned out to be really unclear, not clear, and the quality of the photo is not good. So that is the 2nd one. So the 3rd one, actually, personally, I would have submitted this version. Yeah, everything is looking quite nice. I took out the roots that previously was here. The bluish color is reduced, and then you can see this area is looking quite nice now. The sands are more visible, and the rock at the back is also very visible. So actually, I'm quite satisfied with this photo. But before I submitted this version to the contest, I showed it to some friends, and unfortunately, I do not have very good feedback from my friends. The first person who told me is Luca. Yeah, so when Luca saw this photo, immediately he said he's disappointed. Yeah, to be honest, he said he's disappointed mainly because of this area. This area. According to Luca, and which I agree 100%, one of the most important features on this concept is the root. Yeah, so in this photo, because of the ripple effect generated on the water surface, the root reflection is gone. As you can see here, the reflection is gone. Yeah, so Luca said somehow this photo is losing the initial appeal to highlight the concept of the root. He said I should not make this area so blur, due to the ripples. He want to see more of the root concept. So I perfectly agree with him. So that is one comment from my friends. And then I also show it to Juan. Juan, he said something that I think I will remember for the rest of my life. He said, "Josh, we are good friends, but I'm not idiot." Yeah, because he said the fish are blur. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I mean, honestly, I know the fish is blur, but deep down, I was hoping that this is not noticeable. But immediately when Juan saw this photo, he said the fish is blur. So he said it is so obvious that he cannot accept that the fish is so blurred. Yeah, so due to these two comments, even though I would have submitted this version, I'm perfectly happy with it. But due to that two comment, I have to take a fourth shot. This is the third shot, so I have to take the fourth shot, which is the version that I submitted to IAPLC. In this version, I fixed the problem that Luca highlighted, which is the root. You can see I reduced the surface ripple. So in the reflection, you can also see the root. And actually, I also reduced further the bluish background. Yeah, so the color is to me a little bit more natural now. And also actually for this photo, I added a bit of root on this side. Yeah, so I want to, because of the comment from Luca, I want to make the root more visible. And the fish is clear now. So I hope you are happy now, Juan. The fish is clear. Yeah, so I mean, this is the final version that I submitted to IAPLC. That is the reason I have to take the photo 4 times. Okay, now let's talk about the composition of this tank. To be honest, this is the kind of composition that I usually would not recommend. You see, I put a big piece of wood in the middle across the tank. You know, this piece of wood is basically divided the tanks into half, you know, 2 halves. Usually I would not recommend to do it this way. Yeah, it will make the tank looks a bit flat if we are not doing it carefully. You know, this piece of wood is so huge. My tank is 150 centimeter, and this wood is probably 120 centimeter, almost the full length of the tank. And I just put it across the tank. I mean, usually I would not recommend it this way. However, I think I managed to save the situation with a few small, let's say, details or method that I use. I think the most important one is this, the small window or the small gap in the center. It somehow breaks that flatness that this wood is showing, because with this window, you actually can see through, and then you can feel that there is another dimension behind the wood. I think that is very important. By creating this small window here, I managed to somehow showcase the 3D-dimensional effects, because you can see through this wood, and somehow you are, as I said, we need to invite the viewer to go inside our tank. Without this window, basically I'm blocking everything. I do not allow the viewer to go inside this aquascape. So I think that is not good. But with this window, I feel that this concern is no more, because you can go inside, you can see through. I think that is one of the reasons that I feel is safe, this composition. Another let's say tricks is the roots here. This root and this and this. Okay, I managed to somehow show that these 3 roots are in different kind of dimension. If you see carefully, the wood here on the right side here is very much in front. It is actually in front of the main wood even. So you can see that this root here is in front of this wood. Yeah, so they are already two layers. And then if you see carefully, this root here are actually behind this one. You know, 1, 2. The second layer, the two layer of the root are actually behind root number 1. You can see from the photo. Yeah, so I think this further create one more layers. How about this layer? The root number 3. 2 and 3 is actually at the same level. Physically, they are the same level because they are basically attached to the tank glass at the back. So physically, they are the same level. But how I do it is that for this root, I do it very sparsely. It's not so dense. But for root number 2, I make it more dense. Yeah. So you can see, even though they are the same layer, physically same layer, but in the photo, or actually in the physical tank, they looks like in 2 different layers. This layer looks further, this is slightly closer, and then this layer is very much closer to the viewer. So as a whole, even though the main wood is, let's say, one big piece across the whole tank, I still manage to create different kind of layers and different kind of dimension by using all the tricks that I just told you. Yeah, so I think this is one thing that I feel quite, let's say, fortunate that I managed to create this effect. Otherwise, I would say this composition is usually very hard to pull it off, because I usually don't put one single piece of big hardscape in the middle of the tank. Yeah, but in this case, I feel that very fortunately, I managed to pull it off. It doesn't look very oppressive. Yeah, so even though the hardscape is so huge and so big in the middle, I can still create some kind of space around the wood. So I think that is very important. Okay, I also like a lot of details in my work, and in this tank, I don't know whether you can notice it. There are so many details inside this tank. Yeah, so for example, the roots. I painted the root with many different colors: white, black, brown, gray. So the woods are painted in these 4 colors, and also they are the natural color of the wood. By having so many colors in the wood, I managed to create some kind of texture. So the roots are not looking too boring, like one single same color. So you can see the woods are of different colors. And I also added the wood in different stages. Some of the woods I added in straight after from the beginning. And some of the woods I added in slowly, let's say a few weeks later. By doing so, the woods are actually aging in different kind of duration in the water. Also, some of the wood will develop a bit of green algae, and some of the wood is looking more fresh, and then there are something in between. So also by doing that, I managed to create some kind of very small details, different tip texture within the root. And also, if you zoom in closely, I have this kind of small peeling wood. You see? This kind of small peeling wood. Well, maybe most of the people will not notice it, but personally, I'm the person who is very particular about this kind of small details. And I have to tell you, this kind of peeling wood are not accidental. I created them. I purposely made the wood this way. I will maybe have another video to show you how I do this. It is a very interesting technique. I will show you maybe in another video. So these are the small details, and also you see the hydrocork tile that is hidden among the gai, you know, something like this, you know, something like this. These are also some very nice detail that it make the viewers, you know, discover something every time they look at your tank photo. Also, you see I added in some of these small roots. Yeah, these small roots. Also, actually, there are some here, but due to the shadow, you may not see it very clearly. These are also something that is, let's say, adding more richness to our photo. When we do details, first of all, it has to be visible. Details that is too fine, that it is too minute to be noticed in a photo, to me, it is useless. So first of all, details, it has to be visible. But secondly, it cannot be too obvious. My principle of making detail is that it has to be, how to put it, intentionally unintentional. First of all, you want people to see it, but you don't want it to pop up like, too unnatural, too purposeful. So that is not a good way to do details. We want it to be visible. We want people to notice it, but then you need to do it in a more subtle way. So that is how you should create details. Also, there are certain area in this tank that it is actually by some, let's say, some suggestion from my friends. Some of my friends, I showed them the progression photo throughout the development of the tank, and along the way, they give me some very good suggestions now that I want to share it with you. The first one is from my longtime friend, Xiao Wei. He gave me one, to me, very important suggestion on this area. My initial tank, my initial hardscape, actually, I don't have so much shadow at this area. I show you one of the earlier photo, this one. If you can see here, the window is actually stretching a lot more to the right side. Yeah, so shall we say that if by doing so, the woods is looking a little bit imbalanced, and he want to see this side heavier. Yeah, so if we make this side heavier, the wood will look more balanced. Like we are shifting the center of gravity slightly to this side, slightly to this side. So with his comment, I actually add in some I don't know, maybe it's rocks or wood here. Yeah, so that to create the shadow in this area. So this side is looking a little bit heavier, and the whole hardscape will look slightly more balanced. So this is suggestion from Xiao Wei. And then you see these two mountains here. Sorry, I shouldn't call it mountain. It is like rocks, These are from the suggestion of Juan. Juan said that if I make it this way, I give the viewer more details, to see, and also it enhances the perfect perspective and depth. So I took his advice. I added these two rocks at the end. Personally, I think this is a fantastic idea. And then Stephen said that, okay, before I told you what Stephen told me, let me show you another progression photo, this one. This is actually the original idea. I do not close up this area. Yeah, this area is like somehow you can still see through. I like this concept because it makes the whole layout actually broader and not so confined, you see. But Stephen advised me that I have to close up this area. Yeah, so I tried. I took his advice, and then let's say adding more woods here, and I also let the plant at the back to grow taller, so it somehow cover up the whole area here. It looks better, in my opinion. It looks more balanced because the root on this side is somehow balancing also the roots on this side. If I leave it open, yeah, it is a little bit imbalanced in a way. Yeah, so this is the suggestion from Stephen. What else? Let me see. Yeah, there is one more thing. The mini Java fern here. I used to have a big bush more very bushy Java fern. Then my wife, she commented that it is too much. You know, the thing with asking for advice or comment from my wife is that over the past, I don't know, 16, 17 years, whenever I ask her for suggestion or comment, he always only give me one answer: your tank is too messy. No, she has been giving me this same answer over the years. Never hardly have any other different comment. So every time I ask her, your tank is too messy. Your tank is too messy. So this year, it's formality, customary. I have to ask her again, what do you think about this tank? And she said something different this year. He said, this mini Java ferns are too much. So I show you a photo. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe this one. You can see the Java ferns are a lot longer and a lot more wild, more volume. So actually, she said that I should trim it more. So this, I think it is the first time in many years that I listened to her comment. Yeah, so I trim it down, and I feel that, yeah, it's looking better. I shouldn't have the mini Java fern to be so bushy. Yeah. So these are some of the comments and ideas from my friends who helped me to shape the tank like the way it is now. But unfortunately, personally, I feel that there are still some things that can be better. I can't change it now, but if I, let's say, move back the clock, there are still something that I think I could have do it better. First of all, I feel that the wood on this side is looking a little bit unnatural. You know, you can see the roots here are in different kind of direction. They are not really straight. Compared to the wood on this side, they are really straight. I feel that it has to be straight. Why I can't make it straight, there is a reason, because this area actually is the area that I put the filter inlet and outlet. I can show you the photo here. You can see this filter inlet and outlets are blocking the whole area here. So I can't put the roots in until the minutes where I want to take the final photo. So I have to prepare the woods in advance, keep them aside, and then during the few minutes before the photo shooting, after I took out all the filter inlet and outlet, I have to quickly put in the roots here. And the problem is my fish, the melon barb. I don't know why this group of fish, they just school after I switch off the filter for a few minutes. For example, after I switch off the filter, in the next 2-3 minutes, they will be schooling for 1 or 2 minutes. After that, they will not school anymore. So because I shot the tank 4 times, I know every time I switch off the filter, they start schooling. Yeah, so they school for 1, 2, 3 minutes, and then they disappear. So in my 4th shooting, this is the photo that I submitted, is a 4th shooting. I already know that my fish behave like this. So I was under pressure, time pressure, to quickly take out the filter inlet, outlet, and to quickly put in the roots. And then I want to quickly make use of that short window where the fish is schooling to take the photo that I want. That is why I don't have too much time to slowly adjust the root to make them really straight. So that is the reason why. But I feel that, yeah, somehow they are still looking okay. Not to the perfect condition that I want, but it is what it is. I can't change anything now. Another thing that I think I could have done better is this area. Actually, I have quite some Rotala Goyas at the area. And unfortunately, in this photo, they are not showing their colors. I suspect that because I stopped, I trimmed them, I think 1 week or a few days actually, because as I say, this is my 4th shot. And the first shot, actually, they are looking quite okay. And after a few more days, they are growing a bit taller. So I trim them and I plant them back. And then their colors doesn't really show up in this photo. It is quite pitiful because I really would like this area to show a little bit more orange and reddish color and in this area. But somehow in this photo, the Goyas decided not to show up. So that is a pity. And then when I show this photo to my friend Masashi Ono, but he liked this tank, but his comment is that the photo is a little bit too bluish overall. Yeah, so I did not realize it. You know, this is some kind of blind spot happened to all of us, that when you are looking at the photo for a long time, you don't realize the mistake. If I compare this photo with the previous shot, this one, as you can see, this is slightly more natural color. Yeah, and the photo that I submitted is a bit bluish. Honestly, personally, I prefer colder color. My contest tank photo are usually slightly more bluish, more cold. But I think maybe this photo is a little bit too much. But as I said, it is what it is now. I can't change it. So even though it is not to the perfect condition that I want, I still think that yeah, this is the best version out of the 4 shots that I have. So I submitted this photo. There are many things that I could have do better, could have done differently, but you know, it's too late now. Yeah, so that is the some technical discussion on this river somewhere. I do not know how it will do in the contest. Let's see. The result will be out in 1.5 months time. Let's keep the finger crossed. That's it for the video. I hope you like it. Bye bye.